So safety is a big topic when it comes to being a rideshare driver. So here is going to be 7 tips for you for making sure you're safe while driving with Uber or Lyft. Hey everyone, Chris here from Realridesharestories. On this channel, we do a lot of different things within the rideshare industry, whether it be tips and tricks for both drivers and passengers, as well as what happens outside the vehicle and bad driving compilations, but also mostly what happens inside a vehicle during actual rideshare rides. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Before we get started, if you have a crazy Uber or Lyft experience, whether you're a driver or a passenger, or a crazy experience within the gig economy itself, record yourself, send it my way, and maybe we could feature you on the channel. All right, so with recent events with what happened on the road in the past video that I just did and what had happened, I felt today would be a great day to cover some safety tips when you're actually driving for Uber and Lyft. So I got 7 tips for you today. Hopefully you enjoy. Also, if there's any other ones that you can think of, besides, because you always want to be safe out there no matter what it is. So if you have a comment, put it down below and let us know. But here's 7 tips that you can follow that'll help make your ride and driving much safer. So tip number 1, first, keep your doors locked until you know it's your passenger. That's a big one. Because you don't even know maybe that person is your passenger or not, and they can just get in your vehicle. So keep your doors locked. And also, if you have the ability to keep the driver's side locked at all times, whether you put your hand on the lock itself or something to keep it always locked, you can do that as well, just for a little bit more peace of mind. So nobody's going to come in through the driver door itself. Number 2, when you're asking who your passenger is, don't give any information. Start off by saying, hey, what's your name? Or who did you order it for? What's the name on the order? Something like that. And then also just double checking, because there are a lot of Matts out there. There's a lot of Mikes out there, a lot of Ashleys. So if you're at a bar or a club and picking a lot of people up, or there's a lot of people around, just verify where they're going. So ask them flat out, hey, where are you going? And just double check with it, because you could have a Mike 1 and a Mike 2, and they ordered an Uber or Lyft around the same time, and they're looking for the same kind of vehicle. It's very possible. So just double check. Never give out that information. Never say, hey, are you Mike? Or hey, are you John? Hey, are you Ashley? Never give that information out. And also don't ask or don't say where they're going, because they could just be like, oh yeah, that's the spot. Have them say where they're going. And then also if a passenger just asks for your name as well, that just is going to help verify that that's the right person you're picking up. Number 3, be alert and always be aware of your surroundings at your pickup, during the ride, and the drop off. So with what happened the other day, like I said, I knew right away something was off with that car. So I tested it by kind of running a red light, even though it was, like I said, at that switch point. So it wasn't bad. And that just verified it even more. So there's many different actions you could have taken at that point. You could have, and I'm not going to say exactly what I did during that ride, because I'm it's always a case-by-case basis, but there's a few things you could do. First, you could talk to the passenger and say, yo, what's going on? But if you feel uncomfortable, where maybe even you don't think the passenger would want to answer something like that, or bring that attention to them, then, you can look at emergency services. You can do a couple of different things. But always be aware of your surroundings, especially at the pickup, during the ride, and around the drop-off point as well, too. The biggest thing is keep yourself safe, but also keep your passengers safe. They're in your vehicle. So if something happens that's outside the vehicle, like a car following you, or something happening that's outside and externally from the vehicle, you definitely want to see what's going on and kind of do a couple of different things to keep you and the passenger or passengers safe. But yes, always be aware, always be alert, always pay attention. Number 4, always have a voice of reason and try to de-escalate any possible situation when inside the vehicle. So if somebody's drunk, if somebody's causing a problem, if there's a fight between people within the vehicle, or maybe even towards yourself as a driver from a passenger, you try to be a voice of reason, try to de-escalate the situation, try to, almost be like, ooh, shiny object to somebody, to like shift their focus from maybe anger or issue to something that's going to be completely different. One of the biggest things that I've heard that de-escalates a lot of situations is food. Now, I'm not saying keep food in your vehicle, but I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of different things you can do that can just completely shift one's perspective. Number 5, call emergency services if you need to. That's a big thing. And if you don't feel comfortable actually dialing 911 on the phone, emergency services can be reached via the app itself. There's a little button you can press where you can get to emergency services if you need it right away. So definitely make sure you know that within the app, and also how to dial 911 if you need to. So it's just easy to know where the phone button is on your phone. If you got to go exit out of the app, open up the phone app and dial 911. Just be aware to do that. So like I said, call the police if you need to. After any altercation in any Uber or Lyft ride or any rideshare platform, you'd want to call Uber and Lyft and make a report on it. You can also put it in the review itself of the person, but definitely call and put a report together. Just so if there's anything that happens, it's on file. So whether it be towards another driver down the road, depending on, I mean, like I said, it could be anything. So it's just easier to put that report, put it in paper, and protect yourself. So number 6 kind of goes along with number 5 with calling emergency services, but number 6 is know where your local police departments are. So if you're in a city, know where your local precincts are. Just know where they are. So if you have to go to them, if for any reason, if you need to take somebody there, just know where they are, because it's going to be much safer for you. Like I said, just know where your local precincts are. Very simple. Number 7, take defensive classes. This is an extreme case, obviously, if there's any physical altercation. But if you take defensive classes like kickboxing or jujitsu or, Krav Maga or anything that'll kind of give you a good advantage where you could actually be in charge of a situation, maybe disarmament, if somebody had a knife or a gun or anything like that, where you have that ability to know that information. Again, it's not that's going to be an extreme case. But for peace of mind, if you want, take defensive classes where you can be in control. And if there's a situation that presents itself where your safety will be called into question, then you're going to be in a much better situation than somebody who doesn't have those defensive and disarmament training courses. Also, a bonus tip that I'm going to give you, you can share your location with family or friends while you're driving as well. Passengers can do that for their ride, for their peace of mind and safety, but you can also do that as well for drivers, so you have your own peace of mind. So people can pay attention where you are or track where you are, so they know that you're safe too. And if there's any issues, they know how to get a hold of somebody or anything like that. And lastly, there's one last thing I'm going to talk about, and that's CCWs. So the last video that I just posted, there were a couple people that reached out to me, both in the comments, and I got 2 emails from people saying CCW. For those who don't know what that is concealed carrier permits. You can do that, but it's also against terms and services of Uber and Lyft's policies. They have a strong stance against firearms. So they say no firearms within the vehicle for both drivers and passengers. Obviously, it's your discretion and your call, but just know that Uber and Lyft do not condone that. And if something happens, you could get deactivated for having it. And yes, there are many arguments for it. There's arguments against it. It's going to be your call. It's going to be your judgment whether you want to have something with you or not. But like I said, what I want to do is convey things that are in line with Uber and Lyft's terms of services, just so then you can continue to drive if you so choose. Sometimes certain altercations could be like, that's the end of it. So it's up to you and what you want to decide. But always know, if you do have CCW and you do carry during a ride, and somebody sees that or somebody notices, you could be deactivated for violating terms of services for Uber or Lyft. So like I said, just make sure in that, because that is a big thing. And several people don't have that, but just do what you got to do to be safe. Follow those other tips first. So those are 7 plus a bonus, and talking about CCWs as well for being safety in mind while driving for Uber and Lyft. If you do have any other comments or any other thoughts, make sure you comment below, share them with us, because being safe is always a good thing. And then quickly, last little disclaimer, most rides that I've ever given, 0 altercations, 0 problem, no issues. Mostly it's a lot of fun. We have a good time. It's always good. There are a few altercations where safety can be in question, like the other ride I had the other day, which definitely was shaky, was really crazy what happened. But I bounced back from it pretty quick. And, it's just now sharing that information with you guys and hoping you guys are safe. But it's always good to have that information, and have it and not need it than not have it and actually need it. You'll hear that on many things. So it's the truth. It's always good to be safe. It's always good to have safety practices. And again, like I said, I give you only 7 tips plus a bonus, but there's so many others out there. So please comment below. Let me know what you guys think and what you guys recommend for keeping safe on the road as well. All right, so that's the end of today's video. Again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit the button and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.
Still watching? That's all right. This video might be over, but the fun doesn't have to be. Video up top, if you click that, that'll take you to the last video that we just did. And the video down below is what YouTube thinks you should watch. If you're not a subscriber yet, make sure you hit the subscribe button right over here, and we'll see you next time.